The passport bros seem to be a hot commodity nowadays, so let's just go ahead and get straight into it. This is another case of black women not minding their business. Y'all didn't care about meal order brides until black men happened to make it popular, but of course you feel entitled to being the BBC commander when something no longer benefits you, although these are the same men that you said you didn't want, didn't need, and they are broke. I'm gonna be honest, going overseas to travel frequently and live does not equate to broke. But then again, this just simply speaks to the delusion and hypocrisy of women. These men have been very clear in their message. They've said time and time again they wanted wives, someone they could build with, start their family with, someone they could create a legacy with. What y'all heard was they wanted someone that they can control.
Y'all, you know, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but if you're looking for a man, just know that the reason you can't find him, a black man specifically, is because he's in Colombia already. He's in Colombia already, y'all. So this is the first time I've come to Colombia like post pandemic. So like seeing it in its like true form of like what the numbers are looking like. And when I tell you that my whole flight was full of it was full of black men traveling with other black men. They come into Colombia, baby. That's why you can't find them.
Probably about $2. All right, guys, so she finally gonna act like a normal citizen and buy the cherries instead of just eating them out of the box. So she finally gonna get a bag and eat the cherries like a normal person. Look at her. She eating the cherries while she picking them. Look at this. This is crazy. Look at her, guys. She literally chewing while she putting them in the bag.
Y'all minimize being a wife simply down to being a slave, even so much as telling those other women overseas that they're uneducated and practicing sex tourism. And in turn, a lot of y'all have took your degree and traded it in for an OnlyFans profile. Nobody said anything when women were going to Dubai. We know why you were going. Nobody said anything when women were flying state to state getting flued out. We know what you were doing. Nobody said anything when Nigerian and Jamaican men needed green cards and y'all started falsifying marriage documents so you could drive your Range Rover with your red bottoms. Let's just call a spade a spade. Y'all wanted the option to go back to these men after the man that you really wanted was done dragging you through the mud.
All right, guys, we're going to check out finally so I can get the hell up out this store. They about to cough me up. Arm and leg. Oh, boa noite. About that. Alright guys, so that was 426 reais. Alright guys, so for all this stuff, it was 426 reais. And I'm gonna put the conversion in there, but I think that's somewhere around maybe $65 or $70.
Okay, so it's 6:33 a.m. and it's the day after Thanksgiving. Today is Black Friday. So there's a story here, and this story was actually published on Friday, the 21st of November. So that was like 4 days ago. It says the mail order bride industry has had a rebrand. Now is the time of the passport bros. Of course, this is written by a female, Julia Mazzaros. So let's say if there's a picture of Julia Mazzaros here. You know, it's important to know who you're talking about. Now, I see it says Julia Mazzaros. I don't see anything for her right away, so we're going to try to see if we can find out something about Julia Mazzaros later. Because the thing about it is, you already know that this is going to be negative simply because it's a female. It's one of these angry Western feminists who's mad that the passport bros movement is we're going to the moon, and there's nothing they can do about it. See, you got to understand. So, and you know, for the last couple of days, I've been watching a lot of videos, women complaining all over TikTok about men not taking them out on dates. You got complaints all over TikTok. These women are mad. Where are the men at? The men are leaving, and blah, 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 blah. What the passport bros really comes down to, first of all, these are black males, and they're taking their resources, they're getting their passports, they're going abroad searching for relationships, wherever they're going, whether it's South America, Asia, Europe, or even Africa, because some of them do go to Africa. The bottom line is these women here are angry. And they're angry because the Trump economy, no matter how you want to slice it, the Trump economy is kicking their asses. We got record job loss that's being hidden by lies because the media is literally lying to us and trying to tell us everything's going fine, when meanwhile you know it's not. And what's amazing is how could they even tell you things are going fine when the average house is unaffordable to even a couple making $100,000 a year because the average house is now costing more than $500,000. Childcare is completely unaffordable to new couples. Even if they're making $100,000 a year, the estimates are that it basically costs $500,000 to bring a kid from newborn to 18 years of age. In fact, I believe it's actually higher than that. A new study that was just released is actually saying that the poverty line is over $100,000. They're saying that the poverty line should be $140,000. And they're saying that the metrics that are used to measure the poverty line, the metrics that are used to measure how well we're doing, they're saying that the government is lying about all of it. Like they're literally saying that housing is supposed to cost us a certain amount of money. Food is supposed to cost us a certain amount of money a month. Childcare is supposed to cost a certain amount of money. And the simple fact is, the majority of Americans, we've reached a point that the average American is not living paycheck to paycheck. The average American is living loan to loan. So we're in a situation where just by being alive, you're running up debt. So you're not even going paycheck to paycheck. You're going loan to loan. These people are going buy it now, pay it later. Buy now, pay later services. That's a loan. Credit cards, that's a loan. Even what's sad is even the mortgages. We've come to accept the 30-year fixed mortgage. But the 30-year fixed mortgage is a loan. And that means that now you've got a loan that you're stuck in for 30 years. Or maybe you could pay it off a little faster, but you're still stuck in a loan. It used to be parents might be able to gift their children a house. Not anymore. Then you got Trump talking about how can I fix the housing market? Oh yeah, I got an idea. We'll do 50-year mortgages. Well, Mr. Trump, why not 100-year mortgages? Yeah, it's because you're going to be in debt for your entire life. It'll take you forever to build equity. You'll be stuck in that property. Your children will be paying that property off because you'll be in debt for your entire life. Chances are your children won't even be able to get a job to keep up the payments, and they'll end up losing what you lived all that time and worked all that time for. You'll lose it. Bitch, your children will lose it. I think a lot of parents are right now looking at their kids and wondering, this next generation, I think they're completely fucked. You've got AI taking their jobs. You've got older people who are still in the workforce who should have been able to retire but can't. They're taking up jobs. It's like it's a complete mess. So passport bros, these are men who are going abroad. They're leaving. They're taking their whatever job they got. They're going abroad, and they're living abroad, and they're finding better relationships. They're finding relationships with women who aren't materialistic and who aren't challenging them over these women, they got to the point where they were basically saying, yeah, you can't take me out on a coffee date because I think it's low energy. Well, here's the thing. You know what's funny? Men, in general, men can get by. They always can just get by doing anything. Like, I'll tell you, like, for me personally, I got women calling me up, asking me to go out on dates. And before I can even say no, well, we could go 50-50. I swear. I got this call. I've got a couple of these calls, but I got one of these calls a couple of days ago. Oh, well, we used to go out to the restaurants. Why don't we go out to the restaurants anymore? I'll tell you what, let's go out to one of the restaurants. We go restaurant testing. And yeah, well, we could go half and half. We could go Dutchy. And I'm like, wait a minute. You're calling me proposing to go out half and half on a restaurant. And I'll be perfectly honest, I usually never did that. I always typically paid 100%. I actually paid 100%. I didn't pay 50-50 because I'm a millennial and we were raised to believe that we're supposed to actually pay for dates. Now, the thing about it is I've cut back on even talking about or offering to take certain women on dates because I'm like, wait a minute. I could go, if I really want, I could go to one of these restaurants. I could get my entire meal for $20. Like if I want to go to a Chinese buffet, I go to a Chinese buffet. It's $10 up until about like 3:30, and then they charge you for a drink, so that's like a $2.50 or something. But I always leave like a $5 tip, and the bill comes out to about $15, right? So if I leave a $5 tip, that brings me to a grand total of $20, right? I'm happy enough just going to the Chinese buffet. Oh, but I got these chicks. Oh, I don't like Chinese food. I don't want to go to the Chinese buffet. Like, what are you fucking kidding? The food is fantastic. You have choice. You can get the sushi that they make because, there's always a Chinese guy or a Mexican guy making sushi. And, no, that's not good enough for me. I don't want to go to the Chinese buffet. Now, me personally, I love the Chinese buffet. $10, I give them a $5 tip. That's a $20 meal. However, when I want to go get something else, I might go to the Greek restaurant. I go to the Greek restaurant. What is that? I'll order a lamb gyro with a big Greek salad, right? That's like it's about $20 to $25, but I always leave them about a $5 tip usually, right? What else? If I want to go to Red Lobster usually has some type of meal deal for about $30 or less, slightly less, but it's usually about $30. I like to get the Admiral's Feast, right? So that's somewhere like $30 or $40 or something like that. I haven't been to Red Lobster in a while. There's my favorite Italian restaurant. If I want to go there, chicken parmesan, veal parmesan. Yeah, they have a lunch special for about like $20 to $25. So my point is, yeah, it's going to cost me about $20 to $25, and I give them a $5 tip. But these women, oh, no, I want to go to Fogo de Chao, right? So here's the thing. The Fogo de Chao, so they got the salad bar, they got this meat where they bring the meat around and everything. But now you're talking about $59 per person, right? So wherein I would have been happy just going to Wendy's or just going to one of these regular restaurants and just get me a $20 meal and call it a day. Oh, no. Now you got to spend $60 a person, and that's assuming you're doing 50-50. But when you take one of them out, now you're basically up to $125. And then you got to give like a $10 or $15 or $20 tip or something like that. So basically, taking one of them out, you're like $140, $150. Wherein if you had just gone out by yourself, that would have been like $15, $20. And then you got some of them who demand, oh, you got to take me to this even better restaurant. It's like $200 or some shit. There was a restaurant that I had wanted to go to, but they ended up closing. And it was basically for like Valentine's Day, it was like $200 a person. And it was basically $150 a person, but you basically got to put in like a $20 or $30 tip or something like that. And if you added any wine, you were automatically spending like $500 for both people that day, that Valentine's Day. And then you had to have a reservation. So I'm like, wait a minute. I could just go to Chinese buffet and I'll be happy getting a $10 all you can eat, all you can eat sushi or whatever. Not them. Nope. Nope. So the thing about it is, you go to overseas, you go to one of these other countries, you go to Philippines, Thailand, South Korea. You go take these. If you want to go on a date, that date's gonna run you, shit. It might not cost you $10. If you go to Thailand, shit, you can go out every single day, and it might not cost you. It'll cost you like $2 or $3 per meal. And what's funny is, like, when you're in Thailand, the street food is better than what they got in the restaurants. Like, the street food is fantastic. I love Thai street food. And when you go into the restaurant, it's actually disappointing. You're like, oh, wow, this is a restaurant. I thought it was going to be better than this. But the street food is slamming. And it's amazing because they're actually really clean when they cook. And for the most part, I ate their street food, never, ever got sick. It's fantastic. So the passport bros, when we go abroad and we want to take these women out on dates, or if we want to get to know somebody, it's like, yeah, it's not that expensive. It's like, why the hell should I have to go into debt for a date? And these women are mad. They all over TikTok. Oh, yeah, they're not taking us on a dates. I mean, what's wrong? And now it's getting so bad that they're starting to actually settle and say, yeah, well, what about Starbucks? What about the coffee date? It's like, wait a minute. You're the one who said no coffee dates. Now they're having to settle. Like, it's getting that bad. First of all, let me say and bring it back to this. The Trump economy is kicking their asses. I have to give Trump credit. He is taking on the welfare state. What bothers me is that Trump is stealing all of my ideas, because anybody who's followed me long enough knows that I hate the welfare state. I hate Democrats. I hate Republicans. Both of them are big government welfare conservatives, big government welfare liberals. I hate them both. They have allowed this welfare state to grow out of control, and now we're basically going through austerity, just like Europe did, cutting back on everything, going through austerity. They're not saying that. They don't want to use the words recession. They don't want to use the word stagflation, and they don't want to use the word austerity. But that's basically where we're going. These women, man, they're seeing their rents. Their rent is kicking their ass. And then some of these landlords are raising the rent. And then on top of that, food. Oh, well, when I used to go to the grocery, I only paid, yeah. Yeah, guess what? The grocery bill is kicking their ass. The car notes. You know what I'm seeing lately? I look across the street. I can look at my female neighbor across the street. You know what I'm seeing? These women ain't running out and buying them Lexuses, the BMWs, the Mercedes as much as they used to be. Now I'm seeing them in Hyundai, and I'm seeing them in Kia, and I'm seeing them in, of course, the Nissan Altima. Of course, the Nissan Altima is the staple of the ghetto. Nissan Altimas, Nissan Rogues. Oh, but what happened? Where are the BMW X6s and the BMW X5s and where's that at? Where's the Mercedes GLC? You know, it's funny, even that Mercedes GLC, that thing is still $55,000. So no matter how you slice it, unless you get a killer lease deal on one of those things are expensive. And the insurance is high. The insurance is high as fuck on those cars. I don't see those cars that much no more. I see these women on here complaining, oh, I bought an Audi Q5. Oh, I'm never buying a car again like this. The Audi broke down. And they said there was something wrong with the evapotranspirator, and it was going to cost me $10,000. Them bills is kicking they ass. Trump he's made everything fucked up. The tariffs are so high, you can't afford this, you can't afford that. What was it? The government shut down. He tried to blame that shit on the Democrats. It's like, oh yeah, your Section 8 check ain't coming. Your welfare, food stamps, EBT ain't coming. The Trump economy. I don't care who he tries to blame. The Trump economy is kicking their ass. And now let's add something else to the plate. The men are leaving. The men are getting their passports, and they say, yeah, well, you're strong and independent, and you're on your own, and I'm sure you'll make it. Yeah, you got this, sis. All that bullshit that they programmed into us. with those stupid movies like Captain Marvel and all that. Oh, you're strong and independent. You're strong and independent. Yeah, you got this, sis. Yeah, But the men are leaving. The men are saying, nah, fuck this. I'm going to Brazil. I'm going to get me one of them bubble butt Brazilians. I'm going to Colombia. I'm going to get scopolamine, but I'm going to get me one of these bubble butt Colombians with the big wide body kit hips. I'm going to go to Southeast Asia. I'm going to get me Ling Ling. Ling Ling going to make me sushi and all this. That's what it's coming down to. Y'all misused the resource that you had, and now your resource is on its way overseas. And it's just that simple. So here we got the story here. The mail order bride industry has had a rebrand. Now is the time of passport knows. Now, first of all, mail order brides really don't exist anymore. They don't exist anymore simply because we have very strict laws. Now, mail order brides is something that white men used to do. And basically, it was post-war brides, basically. It wasn't just mail order brides, it was post-war brides. So when you've got those Russian women trying to escape communism, you got these Russian mail order brides. When you got those Ukrainian women, Zelensky has failed them, and Vladimir Putin is flattening Ukraine. And he took the Donbass region. He took Luhansk and Donetsk, and he's taking that whole shit over. And no, comrade, I take all the land, comrade. Them women is trying to escape. The Ukrainian women trying to escape. They try to come over here. Those are post-war brides. How about Korean War? How about the Vietnam War? Those women escaped over here. You got the Hmong groups. They trying to get over here. The Vietnamese trying to get over here. You got the Chinese women trying to get over here because the Japanese went into the Nanjing and tore them women up over there. You got the Berlin Wall. Before the Berlin Wall came down, the Russians went in there. After World War II, they tore them German women up. So the thing about it is, a lot of those women were doing their best to escape those wartime situations. They were coming over here. Mail order doesn't really exist. It's not like you open up a catalog and you just sign up for some shit and you say, yeah, send me a wife. It doesn't really work that way. In fact, the history of mail order brides was when you had frontier women who were basically looking for husbands. So they were basically marrying men sight unseen, and they had to leave Eastern America to go out to Western America, which most of it hadn't been settled yet. So those were called the frontier brides. But mail order doesn't really exist. Right now, we have what's called the K-1 visa process called 90-day fiancé. So when you want to get married to one of these women overseas, first of all, you have to go over there. You have to be in her country. You got to meet her over there. You got to take pictures of you. You can have text messages, pictures, but anything that proves that you know her. Then you can apply for the K-1 visa. That's about altogether, the whole process is going to cost you $4,000 or $5,000, including her plane ticket. She gets to come over here if you get approved. And then she has 90 days from landing to marry you. If she does not marry you, they pack her shit right back up and send her right back over there. But if you get married, that allows you and her to be here together. Now, most of the people using 90-day fiancé visas are actually not black men, and they're not even white men. They're actually, if you really look at it, it's actually foreign men. Like you have Asian men here, you have Latino men here from different parts of South America. They're the ones who start a business over here and they get themselves a wife from their country. But they're the ones who are mostly using that. I think times are changing now because now you have an increase of, white men, black men saying, no, I ain't got time for this shit. I'm going to get me a Dominican. I'm going to get me a Puerto Rican. Or I'm going to get me a Colombian. Or I'm going to get me what the hell? I got this freaking stupid ad here. So that's where it is. It says, this new generation of young men may have rebranded international dating, but they reflect an age-old theme. Social and economic changes shape how people negotiate love and labor across borders. As I explore in my 2025 book, I'm not going to read that shit, Economies of Gender. In a chaotic world, some men and women turn to traditional gender roles as a source of seeming stability, and that often leads them abroad. Old industry, new look. The term mail order bride dates back to the 19th century when so-called frontier brides advertised themselves in newspapers to single men in the American West. After the Civil War, when large numbers of men had died on the East Coast, some women saw migrating to the frontier to marry someone sight unseen as a way to secure stability. That narrative still lingers today in Western novels and films. The modern international matchmaking industry, however, took shape in the 1970s when catalogs of mostly Filipino women's photos and addresses were sold to American men. After being pen pals, men would travel to the Philippines to meet and decide whether they wanted to get married. Some scholars consider this a form of human trafficking. No, that's bullshit. First of all, show me these scholars. I guarantee they're all fakes. They're all hacks, guaranteed. That's how you lie in plain sight with nobody questioning it, because people tend to be quick to accept your premise. What do you mean, some scholars? Who the fuck are you talking about? Who are you talking about? Some scholars. Yeah. Some aliens consider Earth to be a backwater planet that nobody wants to live in. I can't prove that, and I can't disprove it either. Come on, that's stupid. You know what that's called? That's called conjecture. Some people would just call her a liar, but that's called conjecture. You're just making this shit up. So anyway, no, it's not human. How is it? First of all, if you marry someone, let's just stop this feminist bullshit right now. If you go over to another country and you meet somebody and you and her decide to marry, she has every right to sign into that contract, and she has every right not to sign into that contract. You have every right to sign that contract. You have every right not to sign that contract. This is called a mutual agreement. There's nothing trafficking about any of that shit. You know what human trafficking is? Human trafficking is when Governor Abbott in Texas was putting illegals onto buses and shipping them from the border up to New York and Maine and other blue states in order to spread illegal immigration throughout the country. That's human trafficking. When exactly is he going to get in trouble for that? I don't think that's going to happen because this government is so corrupt that it forgets how corrupt it is. When is Governor Abbott going to go to prison? You know, what is it? Jasmine Crockett calls him Hot Wheels because he has a wheelchair. When is he going to go to prison for human trafficking? That's my question. I don't think anybody's ready to answer that question, but I'm still going to ask it. When is he going to prison for human trafficking? Governor Abbott, Hot Wheels, a.k.a. Hot Wheels, should be in prison right next to Puff Daddy. Who else got caught for human trafficking? I know Puff Daddy did, but who else? I can't really think of who else would. I don't think it was R. Kelly. R. Kelly, I think he got in trouble for something else. Hot Wheels should be right between R. Kelly and Puff Daddy. Hot Wheels should be part of a human trafficking sandwich. Epstein, supposedly he's dead and he killed himself. I don't believe any of that shit. But, all of them should have been in the exact same cell. All of them. But they're not. So when does that happen? When does that happen? Because that's real human trafficking. So anyway, it says some scholars consider this a form of human trafficking, but that has been challenged by other scholarship. You haven't even named names. You didn't put any footnotes. I have no idea who you're talking about. These catalogs emerged as more U.S. women were entering the workforce and earning their own money. Some men sought wives abroad who they believe would embody more traditional values, prioritizing domestic work and devoting themselves to men and children. Over the next few decades, a large number of stable, well-paying factory jobs disappeared, further challenging some men's views of themselves as breadwinners. By 2010, the catalog system had moved online and expanded into a global industry that generated US $2 billion per year. Today, it takes many forms. Most of the industry is online with email and chat correspondence that charges men but not women. Some agencies provide in-person tours for male clients, and there are higher-end, more personalized matchmaking services as well. From taboo to televised, what was once stigmatized has become more normalized through reality TV. TLC's hit series 90 Day Fiancé, which came on the air in 2014, has transformed international dating into a joke, not a lucrative entertainment franchise. I stopped watching that stupid shit when I realized that what it was a bunch of feminists taking the worst possible men that they could find and putting them on there as a joke. That's what they did. They took the worst men they could get, and they took the craziest ass women they could get. They put them on there, and it was a total joke.
Oh my God, this is paradise.
Yeah.
Let's go find a boat. Come on. I screwed up this morning. I told Rose that she has really bad breath, like really bad breath. My intention was not to insult her, but she got very upset.
The show and its numerous spin-offs show couples navigating the K-1 visa process, which gives 90 days to marry after a partner enters the country. If the wedding is called off, the foreign fiancé or fiancée must return to their country of origin. God damn it. This freaking... Wait. I gotta find where I was, because this stupid thing. Okay,
Oh my God. Rose, what is that?
I think a mouse.
That's a mouse or a rat?
I think so.
yeah, here I am. Many of the features, couples met randomly in person. A significant number, however, connected through online dating or language learning sites. Numerous couple storylines highlight family and friends of the American partner who questioned the girlfriend or boyfriend's motives, accusing them of faking love for financial gain and access to a green card. Audiences might watch the show for drama or love stories, but the underlying themes mirror what I've seen in the field. Relationships shaped by economic inequality and migration, with women often exchanging emotional, domestic, and sexual labor in return for financial stability. Gotta close that. Rise of the passport bros. In recent years, the mail-order bride industry has gotten a cultural revamp with younger and more diverse men who identify as passport bros. And you have nobody to blame for this but yourselves. You have nobody to blame for them but yourselves. You have nobody to blame for this but yourselves. You did your best to demonize young men in the media. You did your best to make them second guess their own gender and sexuality. You did your best to make them look like weaklings. You know what's funny? And there's a story, I might talk about it. There's an island in Finland. And I posted it in my community chat, but there was an island in Finland over in Europe. And forgive me, my nose is a little stuffed because I just woke up and I had a cold from last night because we were out partying for Thanksgiving. But anyway, there's an island out in Finland. And basically, women started this island as a women's only island, right? Here's the problem, though. Women don't build anything. So they needed men to build this place, and then they needed men to come in and out to maintain it. Sure enough, it failed. The whole idea of having this woman's only island failed. 2023 is when it closed. Kevin Samuels died before 2023, so he never would have known about this place, and he wouldn't have known about the failure of this place. But I'm sure it would have fit nicely into one of his stories. But how do you build a woman's only island when women don't build anything? And that's the problem. See, women refuse to accept their place in society. Men accept it, and men, sadly enough, men get the worst of it. Men are the builders, men are the hunters. Men go out and they build everything and they maintain everything and they hunt. And that pretty much takes a toll physically on men. And that's part of the reason why men die earlier. Men do dangerous, difficult, and dirty jobs. I have never seen in my entire life, I've never seen a woman building anything. I've never seen a group of women building tunnels. I've never seen a group of women building bridges. I've never seen a group of women building space stations. I've never seen a group of women building towers, skyscrapers, anything. I've never seen a group of women building trains or train tracks. Never seen it. I've seen women in the offices. I've seen women with the kinky shoes on, walking around the office, acting like they're part of some corporate empire like on television. I've seen women at the construction sites holding a sign that says, slow down. I see the men with no shirt on jackhammering shit and chopping up the ground. I've never seen women build anything, ever. Show me one group of women who roam their countryside doing building projects. Show me one with nothing but women. Just show me one solid group of women with administration top down as women, the builders, the workers, the project managers, everybody's women. Show me just one, and I'll never bring it up again. Show me one where there's nobody in charge but women. Show me one. You can't. Show me where the plumbers, the electricians, just one. Just show me one. Show me one. You can't. Not 8 billion people. You can't even show me one group. Not one. That tells you something. Anyway. Passport bros say they traveled abroad to meet women who are more traditional than the ones they meet at home. Many of the American men I interviewed between 2010 and 2020 talked about Western women are too focused on career, which challenged their ideas of themselves as financial providers. Similarly, my research in Ukraine, Colombia, and the Philippines shows that many men using international dating services are motivated by more than just love or cultural curiosity. They are responding to a changing world in which women's financial independence has challenged traditional male roles. For some, traveling abroad is a way to reassert control and to find relationships that reaffirm a sense of masculine identity. No, basically what you're saying is masculine identity is linked directly to gender roles, which absolutely they are. And it's not so much that they're reaffirming masculine identity. What they're doing is they're taking control of their household. As far as I'm concerned, a ship cannot sail with 2 captains. You can only have one. One of these people is in control, and the other person is, Commander Riker. You're the second person. If I'm not there, if I'm Picard and I beam down to the planet, guess what, Riker? You're in charge until I get back, and then I'm in charge again. A ship cannot sail with 2 captains. I'm sorry, just can't. So the issue ultimately is that I really don't believe that most of these men really care how much money the women are making. But the problem is what comes with the money. If these women are boss babes making $150,000 a year or something, chances are they're not home. Chances are they're at the office or they're working some corporate job and they're earning money for some other man out there somewhere. And the problem with that is when this man comes home from his dangerous, difficult, and dirty job, chances are he's going to expect there to be dinner cooked. He's going to expect the house to be clean, and he's going to expect the kids to be clean. A woman ain't going to be able to do that if she's out there working some corporate job. And that's the reason why all of these women are single, divorced, unmarried, childless. I remember the movie, and you probably saw it, and I love the movie, The Devil Wears Prada. You remember The Devil Wears Prada? You remember Miranda? You remember the boss babe, played by, I believe it was Meryl Streep? What happened to her in that movie? Her husband divorced her ass. You know why? Because you don't have time for me. Chances are, and they didn't go that far into it, but chances are the husband was probably at work tagging some younger thing, and Miranda is out there running this stupid magazine and all this and doing corporate shows in France, and they go to Paris, and she's in Paris with the young girl who she's training to be the next her. No, the husband divorced her ass. He was like, listen, I don't give a shit how glamorous you think you are. I don't care how rich you think you are. I don't care about all that fashion and all that shit. You gonna make time for me or I'm gonna get me something else. And it's just that simple. Husband divorced her ass in that movie. That was a good movie. I love that movie. And it's funny because that's a movie I never would have paid to see in the theater. But when I saw it, I was like, yeah, this is a pretty damn good movie. It was Meryl Streep, and it was that chick from Batman who played Catwoman. I'm trying to remember her name. I can't remember her name, but it'll come back to me. But yeah, divorced her ass. Look at Arnold Schwarzenegger. I always bring up the story of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger was married to whatever her name was. I think she was a member of the Kennedy family. Maria Shriver or something. Arnold Schwarzenegger is probably the greatest man that ever lived. Probably the greatest man that ever lived. Been in all the movies, fought the Predator. He was on Mars, throwing people out of windows. It's like he was the Terminator. He was a governor in real life and shit. Arnold Schwarzenegger could have had any woman on Earth. What did Arnold Schwarzenegger say? Arnold Schwarzenegger was sitting there reading this newspaper, and he had this Guatemalan maid, and she was nothing to look at. She was nothing to look at. Arnold Schwarzenegger sitting there with his newspaper, and she got that big old Guatemalan butt, and she's in there vacuuming. Arnold Schwarzenegger looked up. He was like, I got to have it. And then he had to have it. I got to have some of that. She's cooking and cleaning my house. I have to have it. Arnold Schwarzenegger said, yeah. And he went over there and got that. And now he has a kid that looked just like him by her. And this kid looks just like him and works out. And he's got big muscles just like his father. And it's like, he could have had any woman in the entire world, and he decides to bump uglies with this rundown Guatemalan maid. That just tells you where a man's mind is there. It's like, wait a minute. If you're not cooking and cleaning in my house and keeping my kids clean and all that, what the hell do I need you for? He's up there banging up the Guatemalan maid. I got to have it. It's the best. This Guatemalan is the best. I love Guatemalan cat. This Guatemalan cat is the best. I've come from the future to have Guatemalan cat. Yeah, that's what it comes down to. I'm sorry. It is what it is. In my interviews, American men looking abroad talked about feeling empowered and having choices while being ignored in the U.S. dating market. Some recognize that their relative wealth is the cause of this, as one man on a romance tour in Ukraine told me in 2012. I am here to exchange my financial stability for some Ukrainian woman's youth and beauty and fresh cat, and I am okay with that. Appeal of tradition. Let's see. Together, many of these daters illustrate the global pattern I've seen across my years of fieldwork. Anxiety fuels a longing for traditionalism. What appears to be a return to the past is In reality and adaptation to the present, the romance tours, the 90 Day Fiancé phenomenon, the Passport Bros speak to how people use relationships to navigate the economic instability of the modern world. Gender roles become a way to reestablish order and identity. In the past 2 decades, rising inflation, stagnant wages, and housing shortages have left many people, especially younger generations, feeling economically trapped. The COVID-19 pandemic deepened these inequalities, forcing millions out of the workforce, amplifying the strain of unpaid caregiving, particularly for women. It's not unpaid caregiving, dear. You're taking care of the kids, and the man is out there working, and he brings money home to the family, and your job is, when he brings the food and the money home, you're supposed to divvy that up, take care of the kids, pay the bills, blah, blah, blah. The man is supposed to go right back out to his dangerous, difficult, and dirty job and make more money. Your problem is you've decided that you're the center of attention and that you want to be out there and it's not even a dangerous, difficult, or dirty job. You've got some bullshit office job. And, again, Trump is kicking their ass. What was the first thing this dude did? He canceled the Department of Education. First of all, the Department of Education was failing us. These kids were further behind in math, reading, English, science. They were so far behind. You know why? Somebody was angry at me, a couple of people, claiming that they were mad at me because I was talking negatively about these people with education degrees. Your education degree is bullshit, and I'll be the first to say it. These kids are falling behind in math, reading, science, English. They're falling behind third world countries. You and your fucking bullshit PhD this because you want somebody to call you doctor. You're rolling up into these buildings acting like you run a corporation. You don't run shit. Not only that, your money comes from the taxpayer. You're not on some profit and loss statement. You're not doing a goddamn thing. You're just trying to figure out how do you make enough money without doing any real work. You're not in a classroom. These kids are failing because of people like you. What did Trump do? He shut that shit down and sent you all home. You were busy playing fucking Dilbert and playing corporal. You were playing corporate administrator, walking up into these places with your Starbucks cup and all that fucking bullshit. The kids are failing because of you. Y'all act like this is a fucking corporate job. Y'all act like you need to get a little office. And you're running a corporate, you're acting like you're on Sex in the City. You're acting like you're on Ally McBeal or some shit. You didn't build a goddamn thing. That's the taxpayers' money. These kids are busy failing. But you showing up with your little suit on, ain't got to even go into a classroom, don't have to deal with any children. But you're busy with your fucking fake-ass nonsense PhD, and you're typing up all this bullshit, these stupid-ass articles, these dumb-ass books that you try to get people to read, just like Scott Galloway. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You don't deal with these people. Yeah, I said it. Trump came in. Trump closed that shit down. He got a hack. How should I say? He got a political hack to be the face of it. Closed that shit right down. Sent all them people home. What benefit is there to this Department of Education when the kids are failing? You tell me. Let me explain what really happened. What really happened was these liberals went to school, ran up a lot of debt, got themselves these worthless degrees, and now they had to figure out a way to pay for them. So what did they do? The school industrial complex continued to gain ground and build itself up. These people are giving your kids bullshit classes that will not get them jobs. And you have fallen further and further behind while the country was taking in more and more illegal immigrants in order to do the work that our own kids aren't doing. Vocational training, electronics, electricians, plumbers, everything from roofing to carpentry. We gave up all those jobs because your kids are in school learning about Hamilton. Your kids are in school attending plays and learning some things. Yeah, now there's nobody's saying that they're not supposed to be able to learn that. But guess what? There's these things that we have called books, and your kids can read that shit on their own time. You've got young kids who make more money than adults because these kids say, you know what, I'm gonna learn this instead of paying attention in school. And I'll learn computer programming or something, and I'll make some apps. And these kids are making millions of dollars while you're busy in school running up debt. You're running up student loans that you'll never be able to pay off. Yeah, I said it. And that's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. You can refute it. You can point to studies. I don't give a fuck. And the simple fact is, that's the reality. Trump comes in there, shuts that shit down, sends all of them home. And you know what's also funny? I think what really exposed the school industrial complex was COVID. Here you got all these kids sitting at home on a laptop computer. Now, they had already warned us that kids with too much screen time, they were going to start to develop digital autism. They had already warned us about that 2 years prior, at least 2 years prior. These kids are sitting at home learning nothing. Because if there's nobody watching them, they're not going to do what they're supposed to do. I mean, that's obvious. Simple fact is, they've been exposed. Now you've got this president who goes in there and tears that whole shit down, sends these people home, fires all. Now, when Trump first came in, he claimed that he was going to deconstruct the administrative state. Nobody caught that because they were too busy laughing at his jokes and watching him make fun of handicapped people and watching him make fun of women. Nobody noticed that except a few people who really know how to pay attention to what somebody's saying. He said he was going to deconstruct the administrative state. What did he do? He came in, he fucking closed the Department of Education and then basically allowed the government to shut down. And didn't think twice about it, just pointed fingers, blaming somebody else. You know, what's so funny is his economy is kicking these people's ass. And you know what bothers me more than anything? They always try to put a black face on it, or they try to put a minority face on it. Oh, look what Trump is costing 300,000 black women their jobs and everything. Here's my question. Do you know what the number you haven't told me is? How many white women lost their jobs behind this guy? How many white men lost their jobs behind him? Why don't you tell me those numbers? Those are the numbers I'm interested in hearing, instead of you putting a black woman's face on it. That's what I'd like to see. Because what y'all try to do, and you think you're smart, you try to sucker people into voting your way by making it look like you're championing their causes. It's like, yo, listen, I think these people have figured out that you're full of shit, and they're not voting with you no more. That's the reason why they're having so much trouble in the Democrat Party right now. But you know what? That's a story for another time. Let me finish this. It says, as a sociologist, I study these dynamics not just to understand dating trends, but to trace how societies reproduce inequality through intimacy. The societies are not reproducing inequality. First of all, there's no such thing as equality. There should be equal treatment under the law. But when you're trying to talk about financial inequality, men always make more than women. Now, I will say this. OnlyFans has given women the edge. Unfortunately, I'm not sure that there's too many people out there who want to pay pictures to see my feet, my ass. But the simple fact is, OnlyFans has given women a definite edge over men. Young women specifically. But then again, I could say there's a lot of older women who have built up a following. There are a lot of these pay-for-play sites that have definitely given women an edge over men. But I don't believe in this equality and inequality thing. I think that's a lie. The simple fact is, nature specifically made beings unequal because there's always going to be a chain. And it just so happens that men are higher in the food chain than women, because the simple fact is women cannot thrive unless they're thriving in an environment that is built, maintained, and secured by men. It's just that simple. That's the reason why that island failed. And that's the reason why anything that women try to build by themselves is doomed to fail. In fact, most likely it's not even going to get started, because without men, they can't build it. And they certainly can't maintain it. Yeah, I want to see a woman wire up a 240 volt line and then run that all. Man, she'd cook herself like a chicken. Now, I'm not going to say that there's not female electricians out there. Yes, there are. But I've never seen a group of female electricians laying high voltage power lines across this country, or any part of it. I've never seen it. It doesn't happen because it doesn't happen. I'm sorry. Nature is very specific about these things. When it's a man up there sweating his ass off, trying not to get electrocuted, that's when nature is fully in sync with what's really happening. I'm sorry. It's just what it is. I'm sorry. I believe nostalgia for a clear gendered hierarchy will continue. Of course it will, because nature intends it. Nature did not give men breasts. Nature did not give men vaginas. Men will not be the ones at home suckling children, birthing children. Men will not be there. Men will be out building up the goddamn buildings that you're going to be living in. Understand that. We have a role. Men have it worse. We have dangerous, difficult, and dirty jobs. Women are proving day after day that they suck as cops. It's like a gunfight starts, the women, they're dropping their gun. Look at Trump. Trump nearly got assassinated. His female Secret Service, she was fumbling just to get her gun out of the goddamn holster. And meanwhile, you got these 3 or 4 big white men who are able to secure Trump and cover his body and everything. And the woman is fumbling and shit and hiding behind the speaker and everything. We got the pictures. We saw it. We saw it. We saw it. There's nothing you can say. We got these women more and more. They're trying to take down suspects. Let me tell you something. I'm 6'6". Me personally, I'm 6'6", I'm close to 6'7". And I bench press 350 pounds. The average one of these female cops is under 200 pounds. You know what I can do with you? Before you can get your gun out of the holster, I'm putting you over a bridge. Okay? We got bridges here. We got the Brooklyn Bridge, the Williamsburg Bridge. Before you'd even have a chance to get your gun out of the holster, you're going over the side. I'm sorry. And no, me personally, I'm not gonna fight the police. I'm the man with too much to live for. I've got too much assets. I got too much wealth. I've got retirement coming up. That keeps you safe. The mere fact that I've got stuff to live for. But the average one of these dudes out here, who, if they come close to my specs, you're going over the side of that bridge. I'm sorry. Yeah, put your hands behind your head. Okay, now put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest. You have the right to remain. Hey, what are you doing? Ah! Like, I'm sorry. That's what it comes down to. You're not arresting me. If I don't want to go, you're not arresting me. It's just that simple. Now, you get some of these big dudes my size as cops, it's like, yeah, okay, officer, you win. I'm going. Because I'm not going to fight them. I'm not going to fight them because I already know I'm going to end up getting my arm broken. I might end up getting shot in the back. It's like, no. No. I'm not. Okay, officer, you got it. All right, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and cuff me. Here you go. Here's my hands. Go ahead. Oh, yeah, go ahead. My keys are right there. Go search my car. Yeah, there's nothing in there, but yeah, just search my car. No problem. No problem. Yeah, I'm not resistant at all, officer. Yeah, just take me on down. We'll go to processing. Let's have a good time. You guys want me to buy you some coffee when I get out? Man, these women trying to arrest you. I ain't going nowhere. Fuck that. I ain't going nowhere. You better have 2 or 3 of them pointing guns at me because I ain't going nowhere. And you already know what it is. In fact, I'd be embarrassed to get arrested by a woman. Shit, that ain't happening. I'm going to throw you over the bridge. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me, You know, a thought just came to mind. rest in peace to that National Guard's woman, supposedly some Afghani with a 357. I think you may have heard of that story that happened yesterday. There was a National Guard's man and there was a National Guard's woman. Yeah, well, the woman, President Trump just said she passed. Rest in peace to her. Rest in peace to her. And my condolences to the family. Yeah. So that's the story right there. What is it? Warren Buffett, Elon Musk, and other moguls all use the 5-hour rule. I'll read about that later. Because I don't trust anything Musk says, because that guy's a grifter. But anyway, what is this? J.D. Vance's chances of 2028 election. He's not going to win. Let me tell you something. I already said it. J.D. Vance is not the next president. The next president's going to end up being a Democrat. It's going to probably be a woman. You know, as bad as I talk about women, I face facts what facts are. I think it's going to be a woman. Michelle Obama thinks that a woman can't run and win. I think a woman absolutely can run and win, just not her. Nobody wants Michelle Obama. What's her name? Marjorie Taylor Greene just resigned. It's very possible she could try to run. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is the name on everybody's lips. It's very possible she'll be the one. She might run. But I really think it's going to be a Democrat. I think it's going to be a woman. Because after Trump's economy has kicked these people's asses, all the people who didn't show up to vote, yeah, you can bet they're going to show up. Because after they got their ass kicked by the Trump economy, they're going to be doing their best to turn this around. Because the tariffs, the job loss, all of the things that he's closed down, the Department of Education being one of them, they're going to rush to rebuild that, and they're going to need brand new people because all of the people who used to work there are gone now, or they've moved on. Yeah, take it to the bank. I'm pretty sure the next president is going to be a Democrat liberal, and it most likely is going to be a woman. Michelle, Big Mike, they call her. Michelle thinks that a woman can't run and win, but no, I think that a woman is going to prove her wrong. I think it's going to be Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I don't think it's going to be Jasmine Crockett. I think it'll be Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, but all we can do is wait and see because there's a possibility neither one of them runs. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I'm pretty sure the next president's a Democrat because the Trump economy is not doing well, regardless how much they lie about it. It's not doing well. Just like you saw Mamdani slide into the New York mayorship, all it's going to take is a woman who's standing up who figures out how to say the same things Mamdani is saying, and she's going to get right up in there. Kamala Harris was not it. Kamala Harris, she basically said she didn't stand for any substantive change. People wrote her ass off. Nobody liked her. Kamala, nobody wanted. Big Mike, Michelle Obama, nobody wanted. Hillary Clinton, actually a lot of people really did want her, but Trump came and ate her lunch because while he's busy out there talking shit at these rallies, Hillary Clinton's doing these fucking private meals and shit for $10,000 a person. That's not how you win votes. I'm sorry, it's just not. So you took your base for granted and your base turned on you. It's just that simple. Same thing for Kamala. Some people up there trying to correct me on how to say her name. I'm saying Kamala. That's what I'm saying, Kamala. Okay? And there's not much you could do. You could call her whatever you want. I can care less. But that's the story. In fact, I think this is a reprint of... Oh, in fact, goddamn, there's more. I'm not reading all this shit. Oh, no. In fact, that was the story. That's it. But long story short, they're mad at the Passport Bros. The worst thing that the men can do is decide not to play in their game. That's the worst thing the men can do because it's legal for us to say, no, we're not going to do anything you tell us to do. What's this? What's this right here? We're not going to do nothing that you tell us to do. We're leaving and we're taking our ball with us and we're going. And there's nothing they can do about it. And they're mad because you got to understand, and there's been studies done, they're saying that for every man who decides to pick up and leave, these women are missing out on like $30,000 worth of income on average. So whatever they make, they could have had that extra money from that man, but they're just losing it because he says, nah, I'm out. Bye. And that's it. The housing unaffordability is getting to them. Car loan unaffordability is getting to them. They've run up student loan debt, and eventually the deferments end. Biden was up there promising them this and promising them that, but no, eventually the deferments end. Once those deferments were over, no, that's it, dear. Hi, we expect our $200 or $300 a month check. We expect that shit on time, honey. We expect that on time, honey. And that's it. They did this to themselves. They don't have anybody else to blame. How and you know what's funny? I'll tell you, what's really funny is the fact that this cuts across races. White men are ghosting white women in the exact same manner that black men are ghosting black women. Hispanics, I don't think, have this problem yet. And the reason why is because within their culture, especially with that language barrier, Hispanic women, how should I say, Hispanic women who have not assimilated into America's feminist culture, Hispanic women respect their men. Asian women who are not in this American culture respect their men. But now you see Asian women ghosting Asian men as they become more and more assimilated into American feminist culture. And that also happens to these Hispanic women too, over time. American feminist, this liberal feminism of America is a disease. I applaud China. President Xi banned OnlyFans. Now, I've been to China, lived there and everything. China, I always knew, China blocks and bans American, media from coming in there. China, if you look it up, China has banned effeminate males from their television. And I think they did that because of South Korea, because they saw these South Korean K-pop dramas. They got all the males looking like women and shit. China banned all of that shit. China said, okay, no effeminate males. We're not having any OnlyFans. We're not having American Facebook. We're not having American Instagram. Well, they banned all of that shit. I applaud President Xi for that, because at least I know they're looking out for their people. Our people are turning into morons. Our society is going down the tube. I find it so funny that so many of these people can't understand why somebody like Zoran Mamdani could get elected in New York City. And I'm like, the writing's all over the wall. He got elected because the people here are absolutely disgusted. Even if you want to argue that their own voting records got them what they got, the people are absolutely disgusted with this place. They're disgusted with it. Believe me, if they had the money to live abroad and not have to work, they'd leave and they'd never come back. But they don't have that level of money, so they can't. But the bottom line is, these men are leaving and they're going abroad, and they're waking up. They're like, oh my God, this place is beautiful. It's calm, it's peaceful. There's no loud, ratchet bitches around. It's like I can wake up and it's peaceful and calm and quiet. I've got this lovely Ling Ling right here, and Ling Ling is taking good care of me. Again, why would I ever go back? These passport bros got their money overseas, making their checks overseas, spending overseas. It's very inexpensive. They got a nice place. It might be $10, $15, $20 a day, $500 a month, $600 a month. Even the females who are going over to like Japan and China, they got these stories on TikTok. They got these stories all over the internet now about how great they enjoy living over there. They're going abroad and they're living better than they live here because the money that they make here is getting them virtually nothing. The Trump economy's kicking their ass. And they go abroad and they're like, wow, this is wonderful. I should have done this a long time ago. These women are going to Bali. Wow, it's so beautiful. It's so peaceful here. I love this. Bottom line is, I think more and more people are waking up and they're figuring out America is a toxic environment. But the passport bros, specifically, they're going abroad and they're dating and they're finding femininity that they never imagined the amount of femininity that they're getting abroad. Even their own mothers act more masculine and offensive than these women abroad. And they go abroad and they're shocked. They're like, oh my God, the women actually care? The women treat me like I actually matter and shit? Not like I'm a workhorse? Man, there's no stopping the passport bros. And it's funny because all it requires is you get that $175 passport. There's a couple of female YouTubers. I shouldn't even call them YouTubers because they've got less than 1,000 subs. And they up there tagging me and shit. Somebody, feminist elite or woman elite or miss elite. They're tagging me. It's like, don't tag me. I don't care about your channel. I don't care what you're saying. I'm not even looking at what you're saying. And they're tagging me all this because they think I'm going to feature their shit. It's like, your shit is boring. I don't care. It's like, we're focused on the future. And guess what, ladies? You're not in it. You know why you're not in it? Because you're not in it. You're just not in it. These men are going abroad. They got all these mixed babies, getting married abroad, having mixed children. The future don't look like you. We literally have access to, this is eugenics we got going on here. We are controlling the genetics of the future. These women were complaining, I already did the story, that men are not donating sperm. And that even the LGBT couples can't get the sperm they want because the men refuse to donate to the clinics. So all of those 6'5" and 6'6" men, the doctors and lawyers, you think that all you got to do is get sperm from them and that you're going to have smart children who are also tall. I'm sorry, genetics doesn't work that way. Out of all of those millions of sperm cells, only one of them is going to make it to that egg. And you're just trying to increase your chances of having a smart, tall baby. Problem is, genetics doesn't always work that way. And then it's going to cost you $10,000 a pop. So, bottom line is, it's like we are the prize. We have control of the genetics of the future. We have it. Not them. And that's the thing that men, I don't know how men allowed this to get so out of hand and to allow the narrative to get so warped. The women don't have the control. We do. We are the ones who decide what the future of children's going to look like. With the men not dating, with the men pulling back, you already see the birth rates declining. These women think they could just go to school for 30 and 40 years and then when they're 45 that they can, oh yeah, I'm ready to settle down and have a child. It doesn't work that way. Nature already said it don't work that way. Your gumballs have run out, ma'am. Your gumballs ran out. The machine is empty. But guess what? A man, you could be 80, 90, you could be Robert De Niro, you could be Al Pacino, you could be 80, 90, 100 years old. You could still have children. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Now, granted, those sperm might swim in circles and they might have a couple of problems, but the bottom line is you could still have children. Ain't that something? So, no. We control the genetics of the future. We control the race of that mix of baby. We control that. Ask Tiger Woods. Ask Tiger Woods about it. Ask Naomi Osaka. Ask Barack Obama, President of the United States. Ask them. Ask them who controls the future of genetics. We are. We should have a cool nickname the genetic future or something. Like it's something cool. Eugenics of the future. I don't know. Bottom line is we're in control of that. We're in control of that. When the men decide to take their ball and leave, that's when everything falls apart. Nobody to maintain anything. Nobody to build anything. And that's just what it comes down to. So that's the story. I know there's some people going to be mad at me for my diatribe. Oh, I have respect for you, but now I don't because you said that my PhD is worthless. Yeah, I said it. You're right. I did. I don't deny it. I don't deny it. In fact, just thinking about it makes me angry. Simple fact is, we're in control. Look at me, Irish. I'm the captain now.
For better.
For better.
For worse.
For worse.
For richer.
For richer.
For poor.
For poorer.
Yeah. We hit that snag about 20 times in counseling. Brill made it very clear to Jonathan, you cannot be broke.
Hello. Hi. Hello.
Know this, Bradley. Are you a real man or not?
Am I wrong for wanting a woman who can't speak English?
I have 6 kids, so if you are a real man and you want me, you have to take them too.
Bitch, you crazy.
I don't cook or clean, and I expect princess treatment from day one.
Time out, time out. Flag on the play, I'm going to Colombia. U.S. has are washed.
Hey, fire crotch, can I check your temperature with my meat thermometer? American women are too masculine.
I am not settling. If you can't buy a luxury car for me cash, you can't date me.
I am more proud of this passport than the American flag. This is power. Know your worth, boys.
I'm done with these entitled pork and beans American women. The scam has been exposed.
I found love here. It's definitely not for money like most American women. This is real love. Get your passport, my Nick-huz.
To be continued.